Hello there, and welcome into my very first podcast since unsuccessfully running for Congress. Well, it was a good run. It was a good effort. We did absolutely everything in our power to create change, to make a difference. And it didn't work out, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean that we don't have more to do. And in fact, I think it's just a signal that we have to work that much harder. And so what I want to do today is I want to answer a couple of your questions that I've been getting on social media since losing the election. I want to give out some thanks to a few people. I want to share with you what I've learned. And then I want to answer a question. I've had several people contacting me with this theory. It's a conspiracy theory, and you know me, I don't typically dive into conspiracy theories, but this one may have some merit, and it has to do with whether or not the Democrats decided the primary for District 4. What do you think? And then I'm going to answer the question, will I run again? What is next for me, and what do I think about all of this? So first of all, let me just say thank you to everybody who donated, everybody who volunteered, everybody who signed our signature gathering, I was going to say competition, but our signature gathering efforts. It really touched me in a way that I wasn't prepared for. Many of you know my history, and you know that I didn't grow up with strong family ties, and I'm kind of a loner. I'm definitely somebody who likes to sit at home and keep to myself, and to get out there and to do things out of my comfort zone, having grown up with extreme social anxiety, was something that was very scary to me. But what gave me the energy every single day to go forward were the efforts of those people who volunteered, those people who just expressed support, those people who donated. It blows my mind that you would write a check for a stranger, just somebody who you knew from the radio, and you did it to make a difference. And I'll tell you, I really came away from the experience excited and impressed with how many people there are out there right now who still believe that they can make a difference, who still believe that one person can affect our country. And even though I lost, I still believe that. And I'm more encouraged than ever. The one thing that I was not prepared for in this election were how many friendships I would form. How many people would step up to a level that I forged a lifetime bond with them. The people who worked with me on a daily basis on this campaign, I will never, ever be able to repay your efforts. I am so thankful for you, and I couldn't have done it without you. So let me just say thank you. And many of you are encouraging me to do it again. In fact, if you go to my Facebook page, you see people encouraging me to run for governor or to run for president or something else. And I'll be honest with you, the thought of diving in and giving another year of my life to a campaign is a little bit daunting. And it's something my wife said, it's like asking a woman who just gave birth if she wants to have another child, because that's how we feel. Many of you know we sacrificed everything to create change. I had to quit my job. We spent our life savings. I had no income for an entire year and did nothing but focus every single day on trying to bring about a better place for this country, and to try and turn us around from a direction where I believe there is a point where there will be no return if we continue to choose leaders who divide us, who seek to gain power by fomenting anger and hatred. And so we did something different. And I can't tell you how proud I am. You know, if we lost because we weren't far enough to the right, or if we lost because we lost votes because I'm not 100% Trump supporter, or I refuse to name call and personally attack either my opponents or people on the other side of the aisle, if we lost doing what we think was the right thing to do, then I can walk away proud. And I am very proud of what we were able to accomplish. I know that we were able to change many hearts and minds. And to those people who self-identify as liberals and Democrats and moderates who joined our campaign, who voted for us, thank you so much. It means everything to me. Now, I want to answer the question about whether or not I will run again and what's next for me. But first, I want to deal with this conspiracy theory that has been shared with me several times. And it's a question that people have asked me. They've said, JayMac, do you think that the Democrats who registered as Republicans voted for the candidate in CD4 who they felt would do the worst against Ben McAdams? You know, there were several media stories where people in the media chose me to be the best candidate to run against Ben McAdams because I am reasonable, because District 4 is a moderate district. And we know that there were thousands and thousands of Democrats who registered to vote as a Republican. And they did so to influence the election. Many of them did so they could vote for Governor Huntsman to be the nominee. And so the question is, would those same people vote for me? Well, if they're a Democrat, why in the world would they vote for somebody who was being declared the person who had the best option to win against Ben McAdams? And here's the interesting thing. All of the internal polling that we did, all of the polling that was done by the media, first of all, we led every poll until the very last poll. And then the last poll that came out, we were within the margin of error. So how do you go from coming so close in the polls to losing so dramatically? Because let's be honest, I got beat pretty soundly by Burgess Owens. And where did those votes come from? Here's the theory. The theory is that Democrats registered to vote as Republicans, and then they chose the candidate in District 4 who they felt would do the worst against Ben McAdams. And many people believe that was Burgess Owens. So now the question is, do I believe in that conspiracy theory? Here's what I'll say. I don't believe that any true Democrat who registered as a Republican to influence the election would choose me as the candidate to run against Ben McAdams. That's all I'll say. It would make absolutely no sense for them to register as a Republican and then choose the person who had been declared as the best person to run against their candidate. So it makes a lot of sense to me that anyone who registered as a Democrat, I didn't get their vote and Ben did. Can I prove it? No. And what does that mean? First of all, I've told you many times, I can't stand the gamesmanship that happens in politics. And that includes gerrymandering of districts, registering as a member of another party so that you can adversely affect that election. I can't stand any of that. That to me does not feel like representation. It feels like corruption. That's what that feels like to me. And I don't like it. And there were many people who encouraged me to invite that type of gamesmanship to occur in my campaign. And I flat out told them, no, we will not engage in gamesmanship type practices. And I'm very proud that we didn't. So, did Democrats decide the primary in CD4? Did they choose Burgess Owens because they felt he would be the worst candidate against Ben McAdams? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, Republicans who run the state legislature, Republican leadership in the state of Utah, it's a question you need to look at. Because what it will mean, if that is what happened, is that every election in CD4 that happens in the future, Democrats are going to come in and they're going to decide who the nominee is. Think about that. They will decide who the nominee is, not Republicans. That's something that needs to be looked at and seriously considered. And that's all I'm going to say about that conspiracy theory. Now to the final question, or the next question. Will I run again? I have no idea. I don't feel that I was able to create enough change. I am left with kind of an empty taste in my mouth. And if I felt that there was a way forward financially, because that was our hardest aspect of the campaign. If I felt like there was a way to do that financially again, then I would consider it. But right now, I have to rebuild my life. I have to rebuild the financial situation for my family. I don't know if there is a talk show job out there for me available. And so I have to do everything in my power. I may have to go and work for DoorDash. I've downloaded the app. I've got the card. I'm ready to go and DoorDash. I have to do whatever it takes to support my family. So the question about whether or not I'll run again, it kind of feels cart before the horse and a little bit premature. What I would love to do, and I will share this with you because this is something where I'll need your help, is I would love to be able to do a full-time podcast, to be able to support myself and my family, bringing you daily podcasts with fearless honesty about the issues of the day. I would love to be able to do that. And there's a couple of revenue models. Again, I'm being fearlessly honest here. There's some revenue models that would allow me to do that. This service that I use, Podbean, to distribute these podcasts, they allow you to crowdfund via their app, and you can make $1 a month donation, $10 a month, $50 a month. And that would be a way for you to allow me to continue to bring you fearless honesty every single day. And then if I get enough subscribers, we can also have advertising in the podcast. I would prefer to not have advertising in the podcast and just have everybody out there who wants a daily podcast to make some type of monthly donation. If that happened, then that would free me up to be able to manage the financial situation to where I could consider running for office again someday soon. And so, once again, that involves you. So if you're willing to do so, please subscribe to this podcast, become a crowdsource, become a supporter of this podcast, share our Facebook posts, and help us spread the word, because right now, my greatest ability to affect change is going to be once again with my voice, not my vote. And so I need your help to do that. So I'll post all the links on social media, how you can do that. And if you're interested in helping in some way, then I would love if you reached out to me. If you know of a job opening that I might be good for in the meantime, reach out, let me know. Because I have some short-term expenses coming up that I need to pay for. We really did sacrifice everything for this. So I'm still recovering. I'm still processing the emotion of everything that we went through. But starting today, I'm going to start bringing you daily podcasts. And I'm going to start bringing you that fearless honesty. And we're going to continue to try and change hearts and minds and bring civility to this country. And we're going to try and do so with this podcast and with my voice. So that is the plan. And I hope that you join me for the plan and that you can help out in any way that you can. Let's push forward. And let's try and make a difference in every way that we can. It's the only choice that I have right now. So that's what we'll be doing going forward.